Hi, everyone. On a normal day like this in the year of 2009, Verona Willis Brown would actually step out of her home to attend or to go to a doctor's appointment. And to her surprise, an incident actually that would change her life forever would happen within minutes of her stepping outside of her home. She stepped onto the street, and the only thing that she could remember was looking at herself from the building above. Now, what she goes on to explain in episode 47 of the 8 Billion podcast is that she had a near death experience that would completely change the trajectory of her life. However, she didn't know until 12 years later what her true purpose was in living through that accident. So join me, like I said, on episode 47 with Verona Willis Brown, as it is one of the most deeply profound podcast episodes that I've ever recorded. She is a dear friend of mine, and I actually have stayed in close touch with her. We got into contact probably in June of this year. And the first meeting that I had with her lasted 3 hours. And I cried and cried my eyes out. But she goes on to tell me in that meeting what her purpose was in life. And she had a specific message for me that I also share, because that literally changed the trajectory of season 3 and 4 of the 8 Billion podcast, as I had understood in greater depth why I had the purpose that I did have. And she was the special earth angel that delivered it to me. So yes, it took about 6 months to get, well, I recorded it, a few months back, but please join me in episode 47 as Verona Willis Brown goes over the details of what happened on that morning, her near death experience, her 12 years that passed, and the things that had happened to her in her life. And this is the first time she actually talks about that experience on a podcast or ever has talked about it publicly. So I am deeply honored to be able to share her story. She has a very special place in my heart, and I always go back to her, um, thanking her for that one moment in back in June of this year, for having that 3 hour conversation that really was so profound for me that it kicked me into high gear for 8 billion. So, uh, like I said, December is going to be packed with a lot of podcasts that are based on spirituality. As, like I said, we close out the year and we look deeply in gratitude for everything that has happened, not only in just 2021, but everything that has happened since the pandemic, because so many lives have been changed. So, like I said, it is my mission to be here of service to you guys in an awakening process that I know is going to take place, of course, now and into the future, and for our future generations ahead. So join me, episode 47 of the 8 Billion podcast on Thursday, December 2nd with Verona Willis Brown. You can find them on all platforms, on my pod link, most especially Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And of course, if you'd like to tune in to the video interview, you could do so on my channel, Liza Florida, on YouTube. So if you do happen to be on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe, so then these messages can go out and be shared with the rest of the collective.